Here's a look at the basketball goal that we just received. We've got this from Walmart.com. They were offering free shipping and a really low price, lowest price on the internet for this particular basketball goal. The price was $63, free shipping. I chose to go with standard shipping, which was like $4.50, and supposed to get there a little faster. It did come in 2 days, 2 or 3 days. I can't quite remember, but it was fast. It was faster than they actually said that it would arrive, so that was good. This is the 90114 model. It's not the bottom of the line, but definitely not the top of the line either. It should be good for practice, just all around shooting. It should be good for teenagers as well as adults. It's not something that you're going to be able to hang from the rim here. And it's got the smaller backboard, which is the 44-inch backboard, but should be good for what we're going to be using it for. One thing I didn't like was the way it was shipped here. There's some damage to the box here. You can see it a lot better underneath here. And I've glanced inside here. I don't think there's any damage to the actual parts. But I'm going to take a video, or try to make a video of putting this thing together to give people out there an idea of what to expect and how to put these together. Never done it before, so really don't have any idea how easy it's going to be. I've read some comments off the internet saying that it can take average of about 2 hours, and usually takes 2 adults. So I'll break the box open here a little bit and eyeball it and get it and start putting it together. One thing I did notice is it said somewhere that there's no tools required. No tools required. Telescopic pole. Maybe that means this has an adjustable backboard. Maybe it means there's no tools required to lift that. So anyway, we'll see. So I'll start opening it up here, taking a look at it. Looks like all the parts are here, so I'll take a look at the instructions here. And we got the poles here, we got the bolts here. This is the base part where you put the water and sand, the wheels to roll it. We got the hoop, got the net. Can't see what that is. Everything looks straightforward here and looks in good shape. Doesn't see any damage. Here we go. Tools and parts required for the assembly. That's what's necessary. So I'm going to take these out now and start on assembly section 1. Okay, inside the box here there's the poles, and there's 3 sections of poles. I just took this pole out of the box here, and this has a top section that is already inside this middle section. And you take them apart. I'm going to have to use 2 hands for that. You can see here we've got a top pole, we've got the middle pole, and we've got the bottom pole. Top is inside here. This is the middle with the instructions, the warning sticker, and then we've got the bottom pole still inside here. See right here, and it's damaged here. I don't know how that's gonna cause me a problem or not, but Then on the inside you've got the braces here also, so we'll be taking those out. Okay, first step here, according to the instructions, you take 2 of these bolts, ADL, got that right here. Just eyeball and identify them. And I've got, you just need 1 nut here. Here's the nut. This is the top pole. You pull the top pole out from the middle pole just enough so that this square hole here, it's not blocking that square hole. If you'll be able to see that or not, but and you just pull it out that far, and you should have like 2 holes up here from the top here. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's according to their picture here as well. 1, 2. This has 3, but I think that's just not drawn right, I believe. Then you take the bolt, put it through where that square hole was at, lock it in with the nut here. There's the nut in place, and then screw the bolt in place and screw the nut on. And once we get the nut, the bolt down here, we move up to the top here and see the square hole there. We pull the middle or the top pole up to its lowest position, which is right there. There's 2 holes at the top that are exposed. That lowest position, we take our other bolt here, slide it in, and instead of using a nut, I'm going to be using this adjuster here, plastic piece, screwing that on there. Okay, now that the top and the middle poles are together, I'm going to the bottom pole here, and there's got a slot here, and then there is a hole in the middle pole. So I match those up. And then I will take the screw that it recommends to use here, screw them together. And in the instructions, when you place that screw into the bottom slot, it says that the screw should be flush with the pole but will spin freely once installed. Do not jam the poles together until instructed. Okay, once the bottom pole here is inside the middle pole, you can see that the screw has a free spin like the instructions noted, and you can still see some of the slot here from the bottom pole. Next, the instructions say that there's a seating procedure where I'm going to be slamming this bottom pole down on a piece of wood or cardboard to seat this onto the bottom pole here, and supposedly none of the slot is supposed to be seen at that point after the seating is completed. If for some reason you cannot seat it properly, then you just have to stop. They suggest that you stop assembly and call their company because there's a problem. So this is a really important step, so hopefully we can get it right here. This shows the striking, the bottom pole striking against a piece of wood or cardboard, and that is the seating procedure to seat the middle pole to the bottom pole. There's a warning note here about this. And I'm going to step outside to do this. I've got a piece of wood. I'm going to try to seat the pole like it suggests here. Okay guys, here's a look at the pole. You got the bottom pole and the middle pole here, and here's the screw that went into the slot in the bottom pole here. As you can see, there's still a free spin there, so that's supposed to be like that. So what the instructions are telling us to do here are to seat these poles or seat the pole into the middle here, and we'll be striking a hard surface. I'm going to be using a piece of wood here, and it says to strike it about 5 or 6 times to seat them together. See the slot here? I don't know if you can see that. I'll bring it a little closer here. This slot here should not be seen at all after the seating procedure. It should be completely covered over. I don't know how far it will go down, but this definitely needs to be completely covered here. Okay, that should do it. Seems to be seated pretty well here. Okay, to attach the pole to the backboard, I have a helper that is holding the backboard, and there are 2 holes at the top of the pole here. I'm going to line the backboard holes with those. I have 2 bolts that will be going, one through this hole, one through this hole. This is the bolt that goes through the top. But before we do that, we will take the rim here, position that as well, and then slide this bolt through, match it, the other holes up. And once the bolt is through the holes, all the way through the pole here, I'll follow that bolt up with a washer, the recommended washer, and then nut. And after the top bolt is in place, the nut is on, but it's definitely not tightened down, just enough to hold it. I take this bolt here, carriage bolt, slide it through, match up the hole in the pole as well, and then take a nut here that has a washer already built on and place the nut on the bolt. And then I can attach the rim brace here using one of these bolts. Washer here, and then another washer on this side of the brace. Then with a nut locking it in position. The same goes for this rim bracket here. I'll be using the same bolt, 2 washers each side, and then a nut on the bolt to secure the bracket there as well. Now I can tighten all the nuts and secure the backboard even more. Don't want to over tighten these, just nice and secure. Next, there's two backboard braces. We attach those to the backboard using this screw here. Okay, now to attach the backboard braces to the rim brace, we're using two bolts, one for each side here, and two washers, one on each side. Then follow up with the nut here. Okay, now that I have the rim connected to the backboard and pole, I can move on to the base and working on that, assembling that, and getting ready to attach that to the pole. First, to assemble the base, or the frame, we use the poles here. We have to find those, and the hardware here. Okay, first step of assembling the base is to attach these two bottom left and right pole braces using this cross tube here. So we just position these in place, line up the holes, and using this bolt and nut suggested, we can attach those in proper position. Now I take the basketball base, turn it upside down. It has some recession places here. Take the bottom poles that I just assembled, the bottom brace poles, place those in the recessed positions of the base, and then I have to turn the whole assembly over. Still want them in position. And when connecting the top pole brace to the bottom pole, you're going to definitely need some help pushing the bolt through. And then once you get the bolt through, you can lift up the base here from underneath, take your nut, position it in place, and then it will It will hold the position until you can tighten it later. And then you go on and do the other side as well. Okay, let me grab a nut. Yes. Okay, now we have the upper pole brace attached to the base and then to the lower pole brace, and we just use one bolt with 2 washers and a nut for that on each side. Now we can attach the base to the main basketball goal pole here, and to do that we're going to have to go outside for that, so continue that in just a moment. Okay, now I'm going to connect the pole to the base, and we've moved outside to do this, and it's best to have 2 people. You're going to need one person to hold the pole, and I'm going to be putting a bolt, this bolt, through the bottom of the pole here to connect the base. This has an Allen wrench. We'll be using an Allen wrench for this bolt here. Also, the first thing I'll be doing is putting a cap, this cap, in the bottom of the basketball goal main pole, and it has these boots here. I think they're called shoes. We'll be putting on each side of the pole, covering up this bottom base pole here. So I'm going to start that now. One note, when attaching the pole braces, the base pole braces, the top and the bottom, make sure that you've installed them correctly. And you'll know that if the ends are angled here, the top and the bottom should be angled so that they'll be flush when you put your bolt through. They should be flush with the pole there. Okay, now to attach the upper pole brace to the pole, we'll be using one single bolt, 2 washers, and one nut on the end for that. Now for the wheels, we just place this axle to each wheel. There's 2 wheels, and insert them in the slots of the bases there. You lift it up. Okay, let it down. And then we can just step on the base and snap them in place. And once I've found the 10-foot position, then I replace the bolt. And put the locking handle back on. Okay, now that I've found a place to put the basketball goal, you can see that I've cleared off the spot right behind the driveway concrete line there, and I've put some concrete there, some powdered concrete, and I'm going to level that off, and I'm going to place the basketball base on top of that, and then I'm going to fill the base up with sand. That the base is positioned and level, I can use the caps that came with the unit and place the first cap closest to the basketball goal. And then I can fill the base with sand from this hole here. I've noticed when I'm filling up the base here, the sand will fill up at this point here. Then what you have to do is tilt the base and shift the sand, and then you can start filling up again. Well guys, I'm finished here, and I think this is going to work out for us pretty well here. I think the instructions were clear and fairly simple. An average of about 2 hours is what I would estimate to put this together. It took me longer because I was filming here. I'm glad all the parts were here. I think the design of it is pretty well. Seems to be fairly solid. The metal is a little lighter than I kind of would like, but I think it's going to be okay. The backboard is very lightweight, and my first impression of that was, well, is it going to be, you know, durable? But it's supposed to be shatterproof, some kind of acrylic shatterproof material, so I think it's going to work out for our kind of use. It's going to be used by teenagers and myself. It's going to be going through basic rebounding and free throwing. It's not going to be any hardcore basketball games here where people are hanging from the rim or anything like that. So pretty well pleased with this. I think the price was very good. And I would say anything 150 or below would be a very good price for this basketball goal. The only thing that I thought was could have been better was the hole for putting the sand in the base was just too small. I think they need to make a bigger hole with maybe a screw on and off top. I think that would be better. It took me about 2 hours to put the sand in. It actually took me longer to put the sand in than if I were to do this, of course, without filming this. I probably could have put it together, maybe 2 hours. So that's a problem with the sand. I could have used water, but I wanted this to be as stable and stationary as possible. So I think it's going to work out, and anyone that's looking into a lifetime basketball goal or this particular model, hope this has been helpful. And until next time, guys, everyone have a wonderful day.